That's what I be doing. No, I just used to y'all said
From London to the Bay. This hammer, gold hammer, every hammer, golden hammer. And the rest is on its way. Can't touch this.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
How many people you know can take it this far?
it is show time.
It's Wednesday.
It's already Wednesday.
It's been Wednesday all day, and as usual, Wednesdays are Wednesday. And happy Wednesday! Oh, we can hear us loud and clear. I promise you that. Ooh, I don't know how they work with microphones and headphones in their ears. I can't hear a repeat of myself. It sounds weird. Happy Wednesday. Oh, the places we have been and the things we got to do. Listen, we are here today on our fourth Wednesday of the month. It's the fourth Wednesday of March, and we are live with our community episode. Every fourth Wednesday of the month, we will bring together members of the community who are doing impacting things, and we are going to have a conversation. I had to pause. Wait a minute. Will you talk about me?
Yes. I told her Dan Rather has to have that intro every week. It's good though, man. You get the people engaged. I love it. Come on, man. People are watching.
They gonna see real time what Dan gets a commercial break for. I don't get to pause. Now listen. Every fourth Wednesday of the month, we are going to have a community episode where we bring in those who are impacting the community, and we have a conversation with them about what they do, how they do it, and just let you all know the opportunities that are available to us in our own backyards. So without further ado, we're going to let our guests introduce themselves.
I'm not a guest. Why are you looking at me?
I'm just making sure y'all want to tell your name and name. You feeling good?
Who? I'm all right. Everybody good? Everybody knows what you
All right, let's rock and roll. We'll start from this side.
All right, so my name is Monique. I'm the founder of Better Me Mentoring. I work with young girls ages 7 to 16, and our mission is to inspire, cultivate, and extend a helping hand to the youth.
Okay, she practiced that.
You gotta be ready.
You come in and bring it.
You gotta be ready, because when they ask who you are, you gotta be like, "Oh, this me." You know.
Lesson learned. There's some bass in your voice. I love it. I like that.
Put some respect on her name. Go ahead. Good luck, Jessica.
You definitely gotta follow that.
No,
Yeah, get ours out the way. Glad you know me.
I'm Jessica. I'm the founder of Friendly Atmosphere Mentoring, affectionately known as FAM. I serve ages 13 to 19. We're thinking of expanding to 25. However, our mission is to help evolve the hearts and minds of our youth by providing resources and opportunities for youth of all cultural and economic backgrounds.
They polished.
Yeah, you got. That's what you gotta do. Like when they want to
tell y'all about women's history month.
when they want to give you them grants, you gotta. Who are you?
Right. Listen, and that's why I'm hooking up with y'all, because we don't know how to get them grants.
Just saying. You done had Kobe and Jordan go.
Listen, and I'm cool with it. Listen, I've always said if I was ever on the NBA, I got no problem sitting on the bench because I get the same check or close enough.
Right.
I get close enough though.
Oh, I'm shocked you're gonna see me there.
I can sit on the bench. Okay.
As long as you made the league.
I'm cool with it. But I am Joe Citra. I am here on behalf of WOW Performing Arts Center. I am actually their marketing coordinator. WOW Performing Arts Center is actually the nonprofit arm of Walking on Water Productions. We are Columbia's urban inspirational theater company. And we provide acting classes, workshops, space for artists in the area. And we do everything from live events and just, we do a lot for the community. Our main focus is right now youth and teaching youth how to act. So we do acting classes for our youth and teens and adults. So yeah, I'm not as polished as them, but I try.
No, I think that was good. I love it. I ain't gonna lie, all I heard was nonprofit. I said, you poor soul. Poor soul.
Listen.
All that things we learned about nonprofit of the week, Lord Jesus.
Listen. Well, and like I said, we're not as polished as these young ladies are. We just are getting into the nonprofit side. We've just been doing the stage plays and doing the for-profit, but our heart is to give back to our community and especially our youth. So that's why we started the nonprofit, just to let them know you got a resource here in Columbia. Seems like there's not a lot of like entertainment and acting and opportunities here, but there are a lot more than people realize.
I understand.
Yeah.
So y'all gonna do a play on Romeo and Juliet like Martin did?
No.
And we know our guests last week are in her play. That's her play.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm April 28th through the 30th.
Come on here. You better still remember.
I'm paying attention.
I thought it wasn't when I was.
Yes, but no, so everything that we do though is original work. So you mentioned a play. We do have a play this weekend. It's called Brown Skin Girl. This one was not actually written by us. It was written by one of our partners that's a part of United Urban Playwrights United. It's her play. But we're putting it on. This is our second time doing it. It's called Brown Skin Girl, and it's all teen girls, one adolescent girl. And so it's for the youth. It's March 24th through the 26th.
That's this weekend. Okay.
So 2 weeks ago, we had a person on, Kawan was on, and she was telling us about the ins and outs of operating, starting, and managing a nonprofit. Needless to say, it scared the crap out of most people. Everybody was like, what, all them legals and all that work? What?
Yeah.
And so with you all coming back and showing what it looks like when you're in it and the impacts of what you do and what makes it worth it is what we really wanted to have a conversation about. So starting either side, doesn't matter. What is it that your nonprofit does and what impacts on the community have you had?
I've had a lot of impacts from starting out during the middle of COVID. I started in the middle of the pandemic. And so for the girls, it brought them there because they were so used to being home. So it was an outlet for them to come together, to be able to communicate, to be able to build relationships, and to see what else there is to offer besides being home. So at that time, our biggest purpose was to allow them to have a safe place to come to. Because at that time, you got to think about the predicament that a lot of children were in. Some kids didn't have a meal. Some kids didn't have a place to stay. So at that time, our whole purpose was to serve the community, to give them a safer place, to give them a better place. And so it's all about having the heart to do it. So you can't go in and looking for something to come back to you. It really has to be a place in your heart of why you feel like you need to give to these people or why it's important to do what you do for the children. Just aligning with everything that you do, it has to make sense. You know, you can't go in and saying, well, I'm about to get this $50,000 grant.
You know.
I do.
That was you. Okay.
I do.
It sounds like I would have heard you.
You can't go in and be like, I want this $50,000 grant, because it's not as easy as it sounds. You know, you have to have the background, you have to have the years, you have to have the right paperwork, you have to have the right people, you have to have the right connections. It's a whole list. So I think my purpose is just giving back, just caring. Like, I love kids, and I always knew that I wanted to do something for kids. I tried teaching. I said, oh no, the devil is a liar. You know, because no, like in my nonprofit, I pick and choose if I want. I'm not coming to work every day to deal with that, you know? So it's just to be a leader, to be a mentor, to actually give the girls a sense of outlet, a person they can talk to, because growing up, you can't talk to your parents. You know, back in the day where I come from, you getting that butt cut. You get what I'm saying? Right. Versus now just sitting down and learning how to have a conversation with your child and to really understand where your child comes from.
Okay.
Well, like Monique, I have pretty much the same thing, except for I have older children. Mine started because my son was bad. He was off the chain. So,
yeah. You ain't bad, baby. You are rehabilitated, darling.
Right. So I feel like I owe it to the community to save somebody else's child. But no, seriously, that's where it started from, me looking for a mentor for him. And I started realizing that the teenagers, they really listen to each other. They don't listen to their parents. They're not trying to listen to their uncles, aunts. So that's why I started peer mentoring. And we started 2017 officially, and 2020 it skyrocketed. I went from 5 kids to 17 over the pandemic. And if your heart is not in it, because it ain't the money.
Wow.
I literally funded
Broke.
everything by myself. Yes, you end up funding everything by yourself. I get 2:00 in the morning phone calls from the kids. Like it's a lot, but it's enjoyable. I love it. I swear I love it. Like I said, your heart got to be in it. Our most memorable thing is one of my teenagers came to me and said somebody was trying to get him to go into a gang, and he's like, nah, I don't want to be in a gang. And he said he came back and he told me about it, and I was like, wow. I was like, people really ask you to be in a gang? And he was like, yeah, they come up to you and they're like, hey, do you want to be in a gang? Then I had one. I had a set of sisters, and one of the sisters, she told me, she said, I've known my sister my whole life, and I've never gotten to know her the way I've gotten to know her since I've been in this program. So they get to know each other on way deeper levels than they would in a normal friendship or relationship that they have in school. I have teenagers who go to the same school who would never have known each other prior to FAM. So it's just very enjoyable. I love it. Like we talk all the time. We're in the group chat talking. I had one call me today because she was frustrated because the teacher woke her up for no reason. Like I said, them 3:00 in the morning phone calls, the parents calling. It's a lot, but it's great. Like it fuels your energy to keep going.
That's good. That's really good. We have a connection in the community.
Yeah,
Because
the
kids don't have no guidance like that today.
Right.
They don't.
A consistent love, somebody they could call that time of night.
And working with girls, that's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
It's the love, the
Yeah.
self-confidence, the not being heard. Like,
You know what's crazy? It's boys. It's the boys.
it's the boys.
Oh my God.
And see, I haven't heard from the boys. I'm
Yeah.
all girls, but when they sit down, it's no other problem. I have girls with hearing aids. They said people coming in with their hearing aids, talking about the hearing aids. One girl is very pretty in my program, but she lacks self-confidence.
Is
So-
it because of what they see on social media? Did
Yeah.
they tell you about that?
Yeah, it's social media and it's the people around them. So where I grew up, if you come from Latimer Manor, Bethel
Okay.
Bishops, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You like that. We
Right.
want to be with you because I know when it's time to bang, hey, I'm calling you. Let's
Right,
go.
right. What's the first project you said?
Bethel Bishops and
What before
Latimer Manor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you from Latimer?
No.
I don't want to smoke. But coming
Shots
from there,
out to Latimer.
22-8.
coming from there, you want to hang with the people like that. Because when it all falls down, come on, let's go.
Right.
So now today, it's like they want to hang with the ones that look good. I ain't want to be with the look good. I want to be with the bangers because I know my back gonna be covered if anything goes down. So it's a little different today. Like it really is different.
They don't have loyalty.
No
anymore.
loyalty.
No loyalty.
No
Instant
loyalty.
gratification, and
Yeah.
whoever got it, the next thing they on to that.
That's it.
What's that?
So how do y'all try to teach them who's gonna be loyal for you and all that stuff? Like you say, they don't talk to their parents; they talk to each other. How do you teach them like what your parents are gonna be the ones who gonna really have your back?
You can teach them that, but it really has to be within them to trust that parent. You get what I'm saying? Because when they come there and they come to me, it's like a whole bucket of water being poured onto you because these kids can't sit down and talk to their parents, and you can tell them to trust their parents. I can tell you all day, don't be bad. Don't be bad.
Right.
But when you go out there, you being bad because that's what you want to do, So for them, it's like when they come in the room, they're telling you everything. And I've incorporated counseling, which is mandatory for them to be in the program. So they do counseling. And it's an outlet for them. Mandatory. Because they need somebody to talk to. And of course they talk to me, but to know that it's confidential. And if a person goes and tells it, they can go to court. Oh, they don't want that smoke. They ain't gonna tell nobody.
Right.
So for them, I hear how they tell it, how they pour out. I give journals. So at the end of the session, they write in a journal. I get information every day where I'm like, whoa, okay, I didn't know that. But it's easier sometimes when we write things down, even as adults. When we write in a notebook and we see it on paper, we're like, oh, that's refreshing, to be able to pour it all out on paper too.
Right.
So Chris, you didn't know about this pen and paper.
They write down their feelings. he got.
It don't matter. It's refreshing to see you remember
Get a
what he did.
keyboard.
I'm a dinosaur, man. I write down everything I'm thinking.
He stopped his car with his feet like the Flintstones. I swear to God.
She's like, oh God, no. Like, oh God,
Like you really acting like this?
let me see it, Drew. Let me see. Let me see your left foot. Hold it up. Listen, so they're dealing with females, and you're dealing with males. You're dealing with males and females. And what's the biggest break that you have to do from coming from doing the for-profit to actually putting your heart into it to teach somebody young to see their gifts and bring it out of them?
Yeah, so it's cool for us because we do, our main focus is, children and kids, but we also do adults too, right? So what's different about it is basically moving from, okay, we're just here to entertain and inspire, but let you know that you can do this too. A lot of times here in Columbia, people think like, oh, we're not nowhere major. We're not Atlanta. We're not, Charlotte or wherever. So
They downplay it.
you know what I'm saying? Like they downplay the talent here. And it's like, no. Like we have just as much, if not more talent than some of these cities out here. And our main goal literally is to help people to understand what it is that we have here. So teaching you how it is to, to act and all these things, and acting, believe it or not, acting classes and things like that, it does so much for you to build your self-confidence. So one of our missions is to help rebuild families and communities and restore self-esteem, because we all can deal with that at any age, whether you're a kid or you're an adult.
Yeah.
And being able to just stand up in front of a group of people and say a monologue is monumental to some folks.
That's
Like,
a
some
dope
people
approach.
are-
That's
Listen,
yeah, but
Be terrifying.
you get over your fears though, right?
Right.
yeah, exactly. And we make
That's a
it
dope approach.
fun. We make it fun, we make it interactive, so that people realize, like,
I've never felt that.
listen,
You
that's
know,
what
In
it
front of people.
You know, Digger Ruffin.
Ain't nobody coming to see you. Come to see me. Carry on.
And that's why you're the first one kicked out.
Came on stage and I refuse to let you go.
Hey, come on. Listen, I'll follow. Don't hit me.
Back with the mentor of the young lady though. You said I'm just interested with the things.
Keep coming for me.
Not gonna have a daughter, before I get to the stage.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, do you sit down? You said they don't talk to their parents, they don't trust them. Do you try to get them in there together and have a conversation?
Yes, we do.
And does it not work at all?
The parents, the parents tend to think that these organizations are daycare, and this is honesty. They bring their kids,
I agree.
and you have these sessions where you do fun night out, family night out. You have these times where you do family fun night, where we bring our counselors in for them to create a safe atmosphere to talk to the parent. You have these lunches that you do. You have these workshops that you invite them to. The parents don't show up. So it's like it takes a village to raise the child, but if the village isn't showing up, there's nothing but just you. It's nothing but you in the middle of a field standing there with that child trying to understand it. And it's just like bringing a child in, right? And you're wanting to correct this child, but you send them back home. And guess what? If they can do what they want. So it's like for me, I don't feel like my time wasted, because when they come back in front of my presence, I don't get that.
They don't do
that. They don't do that. I don't get that. The parent gets that. So it's like, now let's look at what the issue is. The parent. You get what I'm saying? Because I've had a parent call me 2 weeks ago, and they wanted to take the child to Beyond Scared Straight or something. I'm like, I don't think we do that no more. I don't think that's here. But I'm like, so what's the issue? And she's telling me, the girl's smoking, she's running from the police, and all these different things. So I'm like, okay, bring her to me. Y'all, this girl sat in this room, and this girl talked, and this girl, it's nothing wrong with her. She's wanting y'all attention, and y'all are not giving it to her. So instead of not sitting down and talking to her and understanding why she's feeling how she's feeling, y'all would rather lay her off on somebody else or to the system, because you feel like, oh, they'll get it right.
And they don't know how dangerous that system is.
They don't know that it creates a path. It creates it's self-sabotaging. That's what you're setting your child up.
And they get paid to put them in the classes and carry on these
Right.
So are they lacking discipline or attention? Because a lot of parents are strict with discipline,
And
but you're not
attention.
giving the attention.
I think the problem. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I think the problem is, like, when we were coming up, our parents were like, we said, y'all don't get us, and then the parents really did get us once we got older. But this generation, we can't say that to them because we're not raising the same type of children that we were raised as back in the day, or the ones by.
Go make some more. Don't be scared.
I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have no more. With the way things going now, I would not have any more children.
How did COVID change these children? I mean, we can tell that they've changed,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't like they wasn't different before. But like he said, social media impacts them. How bad did COVID
I think
change?
they got rights.
You know what?
Right to shut.
During COVID with my teenagers, I saw a better difference in social media. I felt like they were more of themselves. And then once they went back to school and they had the pressures of being around everybody, their social media went totally downhill.
So when they went back to being into the world versus being at home, it changed because the influences kicked in.
Yeah, you're trying to find your identity again to
Yeah.
people. You know, like you know who you are, but when you go out in that crowd, who are you really?
Mhm.
You know, like who are you really? Like at home, you know I'm goofy, I'm jokey, but when I go out there, like am I cool? Am I hard? Like who am I? You know? And sometimes children don't know to show up they don't know how to show up as themselves. They gotta look at somebody else and
But that's the sad thing, though. That's if you look at it now, like these kids these days, they got like everybody wearing the same shoes, the same hairstyle.
Yeah, we got
the
back
hoodie.
then we just got a ticket and everybody line up. Now we gotta pay $50 to get in the raffle to get the ticket, and if we don't get the ticket, we boom. It's not the same.
I'm sorry, they do what now?
You gotta pay to get in the raffle.
See, I'm too old. I don't
She's talking about for Georgia.
I don't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, like you see the
I wear
same
loafers.
kid. If you get your kid in the crowd at a high school game,
They all
you will see about 40 kids look like your kid
Mhm.
because they're wearing the same thing,
Right.
and it's like it's an identity crisis that they're going through early. Because if they don't fit into here, society has told them they don't fit in nowhere,
Right. Yeah.
and that's the challenging thing. Where
It's scary.
yes, it is.
That's big because your play that's coming up is about brown skinned girls and the way that we are seen, because there's a difference.
Yeah, give us a synopsis of what this play gonna be about.
Okay, so hold on. I'm probably I should have had it pulled up. But basically it follows 10 girls and you kind of see them interact with each other, right? So you see how sometimes we got those friends who ain't really friends.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of see how we beat up, like to y'all's point, self-esteem issues. We beat up on ourselves, but then you also have to deal with bullying and that type of thing. So you watch these girls kind of have these interactions where they're thinking, okay, if you got this boyfriend, then you're popular, but if you too heavy or you too thick, then you ain't in the popular group either. Or if you don't look like this TikTok star, you don't have this number of followers or whatever. Like they're thinking these are the things that make life important. Like this is the stuff that's important in life. And something happens and they realize none of that matters.
Right.
Like, the followers don't matter because these people don't know me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My size, my frame don't matter because to y'all's point, the identity has been lost. Like whatever size you are, whatever shade you are, light, dark, whatever, because there's issues with girls with that too, with light and dark and whatever. Like no, whoever you are, whatever you look like, you are important. You have a purpose.
It's still about shade, color shade.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
With
definitely.
girls.
With girls,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
grown women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my son. You never gave it back. I mean, like last kid dude.
There's been men
We
that
never
say
gave
that's
it back.
real light skin or how this.
Yeah.
I don't like a real light skin though.
We never gave them back. We never gave it. Did we ever get that?
Yeah, I never give them back.
I think we like 91. They had it. Then the king.
Pro black is back. I'm just trying to tell you.
Everybody want to hurt you. Red.
I'm just saying. I think it was 91 because Menace Society had just came out.
When this came out, everybody thought Nino was the man.
Yeah.
That's when we took back over.
We never gave it back. That's
And
what
Bishop came out in
Still?
jokes, and he was the one everybody was scared of.
Yeah.
No, on the serious note. On
What's
the
that
serious
blue
note.
pill
I'm
Al?
joking.
That was mine.
On the
Right
serious note, like
That was
that's
the Chocolate Brothers too.
there. Oh yeah.
See?
I always like
that's
that.
crazy. Like what is the pressure like besides the girls wanting to fit in, doing anything that these guys say, or anybody who look like they got whatever this rapper got going on? Not thinking about it as
Weed is another pressure.
weed.
Smoking.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I've
I think,
never
yeah,
seen
yeah.
this. What you said now?
Yeah. Yeah, that pop pass.
TikTok is
Got them by
got them doing
Listen,
the most.
crazy
Yeah.
stuff. TikTok had them doing so when the schools were like closing and stuff because kids were calling in like threatening, like saying it's a bomb threat. Like I want to say that came from TikTok.
It was a TikTok
It was a
threat.
TikTok
The
threat.
bomb threat was a TikTok threat.
And that's crazy. Like we would have never thought to do that like that.
Exactly.
You know what
No,
I'm
we
saying?
did.
I went to Eau Claire.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, baby,
We did for a whole 2 weeks.
Yeah, we had to stay home.
We didn't- yeah.
Now,
And they called us.
But see, we didn't see the Facebook post of that because
Right.
nobody on Facebook then. The news didn't tell us that y'all did that.
Yeah.
like
No,
at
we
that moment,
did.
we might have fought every day.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But we ain't finna call and say this.
Oh, we did that at Northeast. We
See,
never.
I was a
Oh,
valley
listen,
girl.
oh,
I was
now
a
Northeast
valley-
is-
I was a
Northeast
valley
on that rough
girl.
side now.
District 2 ain't had them
Don't say
problems.
that.
I don't know what happened in Northeast and Valley. I have no idea what went on over
The
there.
greatest things on earth, you just said that. I mean,
I didn't say that.
you thought it. I could read your mind. It's all right. TikTok taught me how to do it.
So what am I thinking now?
That's bullshit. TikTok taught me how to do it. That's all right.
So as a collective, I don't. What are some of the challenges that y'all face in the community? I know you said getting the parents to be consistent and more involved. I honestly know that. Like, what are some of the other obstacles you gotta go through?
Collaborating with other nonprofits.
Come on.
That's the
Yeah,
Mm.
because
I got one you can get down with.
We got
I'm glad you mentioned. I'm taking
who it is?
KIW kicking it with dads.
yes.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
listen,
I'm
I
trying to get in
see
there
y'all
for
right
their little I need to get in there. Yeah, I need to get in.
I know the CEO.
Us.
Yeah.
That's y'all.
I will always talk to the secretary or the treasurer.
No, I didn't know that because I'm writing the page. You know what that is, right? Because I remember your name.
Come on, light bulb.
I'm over there writing
You
you.
got a real life there right now. This is real life here. Yeah, real life here right now.
You think she been on TikTok with them kids?
Oh, you said that Nah, she didn't. She got.
I'm over there writing.
Nah.
If you email it, my phone gonna buzz,
Oh,
and I'm gonna sit down.
I went on his Facebook. And
Oh,
I see him
good.
posted on
So
the
you go
groups, and I was like, "Oh, okay, let me just write." I remember the name.
No, my name's Charles.
Oh no, I wrote her. Then.
that's Willie Bean.
That's my brother Bobby.
No, but you said just like linking with other like nonprofits. What's the problem?
The problem is like basically getting them. They think it's competition.
Yes.
It's
Oh my
not competition
God.
when you're helping people. Like
I'm
we're
gonna
helping.
Preach.
We have different missions. We have different purposes. Like
Okay.
whatever God used us for as His vessel, it's
Come
not
on.
going to be the same that we're doing in the community. You get what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So my purpose to inspire 7 to 16. Hers is from a group after me on up. And she wants to do acting. Everybody is different, and I've learned that what people do is they'll put out there that they're these type of people, and when you sit down and have a conversation, you like, oh, so that's what you want, the money?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And that's not what it's about.
Exactly.
Like that's the biggest problem. And I've learned that I sit here and I share all my information. Like I'll tell you how to do this, how to do that.
Yeah.
And then when it's time for us to do something together, it's like, what you bringing to the table?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You want me to bring all this, but what you bringing? Like what? I'm not gonna give you all my resources, and it makes sense as to why when you trying to find information, why you don't tell it all, because people not even sharing it. They don't have the same heart as
But you shouldn't play the ball like that because everybody got, like you said, everybody got a different talent.
Mhm.
It ain't no need for me to like hate on your talent because I got
Right.
something totally. I got the rest of my power.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So spread love the Metro way. by the way.
Listen,
So-
for real.
Yeah.
We
got
got
some
make a
words.
red velvet cake, but
Okay, look
everybody's
at
cake
kicking it
gonna
with
taste different.
Dad.
I cannot believe you said I just
And then
wrote
you
her.
looking at me crazy like that. You embarrassed.
She ain't probably heard. She said, "Look at kicking it with Dad."
Oh my goodness.
Listen, I think that was the greatest one of the day when you was like, I just wrote her.
Oh,
He didn't read it.
And I'm like, I'm talking junk. I'm like, I was riding in my car a couple hours. I'm like, this man ain't write me back. They must be up there,
No, I promise you. I got the better on the inbox.
Don't worry, because I was gonna hit Ashley up next.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna hit Ashley.
Well, she about to get a whole Gigi real fast, and he
Yeah.
ain't wrote me back yet.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
fault.
Gigi.
My fault. What about you, Jess? What are some of the challenges?
That's the same thing. Trying to get collaborated with other folks. It's been really hard. Me and Monique have talked quite a few times, so that's been an issue. Also, I think the fact of having the community, like the
Involvement.
grants and stuff that are out there, certain people get the grants.
Come on.
And then here we are doing the work, but we're not getting any of the financial backing. So we're out here with our own money, and then there's $100,000 grants going out to people who are barely doing the work or only working in one particular area of Columbia and things like that. So that's a huge thing. The parents, of course, but I got to the point where I said I'm not even focused on the parents right now because I've seen so much change in the children that there's no need for me to keep going on about the parents. I think that's about it.
And you said your age group is older, right?
Huh?
Your age group is older.
Yeah, I'm 13 and 19. But
So
I'm
dealing with them 19-year-olds, you don't feel like by now y'all should have something together? Like what's the difference between dealing with somebody who's 13 and 19?
Well, a lot of it is you got teachers, you got everybody saying this generation, these kids, they not this, they not that. And then it's like, what do they have to look up? What do they have to look forward to when that's what everybody is saying about them? So it's more of I don't have anything going. Nobody thinks I'm going to be anything. Everybody everywhere I go, everybody's talking about this generation is like this, generation like that. And it's like, what are they?
I think that's why like that old knowledge. You keep telling the man you cheating, you cheating, you cheating. And he's like, I'm not cheating. You keep saying I'm cheating, I might as well do it.
Yeah.
You bad, you bad, you bad. Well, you know what? I'm gonna be bad.
Right.
Exactly.
So I think that's a lot of
bad.
I wanted to be a guidance counselor after I finished working. But I just don't want to go back to school, number one. And then these kids, I just feel they lost. I feel I'm in the punch on them in their mouth.
What? See, I don't have that.
And I say that because I actually sat down and talked to some young men before, and they was like, "I'll beat your ass, old man." I'm like, no, you won't. And I'm like, no, you won't. They called me.
No, I'm not gonna stand there for me.
What you doing? Put the kid down. Put the kid down.
I got out the car and she said to me, she said a funny comment. So I came back downstairs and I'm like, nah, you know what I'm saying?
You changed.
Yeah, the mama gonna have to come out here and handle this. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's this time you got to check your child now.
Right.
Because if I let her keep coming out her mouth to me like that, and you don't check it, I'm gonna check it because I'm the adult.
I'm
Right.
the adult.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the adult. It's respect.
Right.
It's respect.
You're not gonna put.
The girl said something to me. I said, "Who you talking to?" Go and get your mama. So she went and got the mama, and I let the mama know. And you know what the mama said?
Wait a minute, Monique. What the mama said? Let me be back. I think that might have redeemed you from being no.
The mama looked at me and she just. I'm like, wait, you think that's funny?
Want you to know that's gonna be one of my YouTube shorts.
Get it? Like,
When your mama don't know how to discipline you, and all she do is
they don't know how to discipline their kids. Like they don't at all.
I think there's a lot of fear.
No, they scared
For
for
the
the
parents?
generation. Oh yeah, the lady who called me about her child. She wanted to send a video. Have you ever watched the show with the twins that killed the mama? And I'm like, I don't think that baby.
I've seen that show.
That baby ain't gonna do that to you. That baby came and sat in there. I said,
Wow, the stuff they do see on social media now, they
are
follow
heavily influenced
because they follow the trends, like you said, they're easily influenced. So.
But they got a two-way street at that now because the world do make it seem like you do something to the kid, they come take your kid. Now you under investigation for trying to be a parent because they give them avenues, which is like, I can slap you, but then they gonna take me.
Right.
Better take you. I stay here. You going to somebody's house.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
It's hard as a parent. I have a teenage daughter. It's hard, and I have a middle school, almost teenage son. It's tough raising kids now, and the balance of, because just like you want to build, you want to grow, you want to work, you got to provide, but then you got to provide attention, but then you have to be the adult and make sure you mentally okay yourself. So it's a big world of what do you do?
Exactly.
The outlets that you all provide is almost like a part of the village. It's a health part. Because it's necessary. When we grew up, it was coaches. You played sports.
Yeah, but that's scarce too, though.
I don't think they play sports like they use them.
No,
the coaches
but
aren't.
actually, it's the
Being in
parents.
the lives.
The parents don't sign the kids up no more.
My village was a village.
Parents don't sign
Mine
kids
was
up for
coaches.
sports like that no more.
When I was coaching, it's crazy how many moms were there. That's what made me start kicking it with dads because it was the moms there. Like you find yourself just explaining to the mom. This is what need to go on. A few dads, there was a few dads, they end up just coaching and assisting. So it's a good balance, but it's just decreasing on the male side. But it's just hard for these kids out here these days. And it takes two now. So most parents aren't able to sit home to go run their kid to practice, right? Dad is coming from work or mom is coming from work. So like But it's a lot of people working from home too, sending their kids.
Right.
Yeah.
The world now makes it hard. I mean, hearing what Charlotte said, it must make you feel as a parent because you're like, dang, I wonder if my kids need a whooping or they need a hug. You know,
Right.
They need
attention.
both.
And then you realize it, but you're busy because these jobs are hella demanding.
Right.
Like I know Monday I work 14 hours.
Mm,
Hey, I ain't got time for nobody attention.
exactly.
Go play. But if you do that every day, what does that do to your kids?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you don't think about the internet's
pushing
raising
away.
them, so all they have is
Right.
influence and influence
Right.
and influence and influence. And now they're second guessing themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised the little thing that you do as a parent that makes them think you could care less about them.
Oof.
You could do everything under the sun, but the one little thing you do, and they're like, I hate my mama. She doesn't do that. She don't love me.
That's how me
Oh my God.
I tell everybody though, my daughter's gonna hate me until she turns 18.
Mm,
Because I'm gonna be that dad that's in your face. I know the woman I want you to be.
Mhm.
And if I just let you watch TikToks on your tablet all day long, you're not gonna be that woman.
but you're gonna appreciate
But
it.
when she
She
turns
will.
18, she gonna realize
Right.
everything my father did was to make me be the best
Right.
woman I could be.
My
She
daughter
gonna
says
tell me
that.
That's your story. That's your
Yeah.
You
story.
know what I'm saying? But I'm not here to be your friend either.
Right.
Yeah. We need more of you in the community. Like that's
Listen,
another
that-
thing.
Do you know what you just manifested?
We need more men that no, we need more men that are in their kids' lives
I'm
for real.
but my father gave me that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My parents gave me that. And like I told you, my village gave me. I have 3 best friends whose mothers thought I was their child.
Come
Right.
on.
You know what I'm saying? If I did something wrong, they slammed me. They didn't wait till I got home to tell my mom.
I
No,
did it.
They took care of it right now.
That's how-
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they would come on, hey, somebody told your son did. And my mom was
Nigga,
like,
smack
did
your
you
kid.
smack him?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was a village. We all gonna take care of this right now.
Mhm.
So to hear y'all say that, like, I'm trying to become a new age parent, but I'm still going off of what I learned in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
it worked.
But
Every-
you
but
can't, 'cause
but
then
how
the
much of us
laws
has
doing
to
away with those
adjust?
ways,
But
though.
honestly,
How much of us has
Right.
to adjust to this new age stuff? Because
Right.
they got issues that we didn't have.
And the fact that they're gonna sneak and do it. So now you're
I still did
saying,
it too, but I had that fear. But if my daddy is fine,
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I think communication really is the biggest thing with your child.
Mhm.
Because I've seen it. I've seen one of my parents to where she talks to her daughter so much that they sit and they have a conversation now. Like she can
Yes.
tell her mother what's going on or what drama's happening in school or
Now I do have that door open with my children. We call
Yeah.
it no judge zone. And
Right,
in that
That's what we
moment,
used to do.
you can say what you. My son take advantage of it. That's his
Mine-
cuss time. He gonna tell you, no judge zone. I told them, hey, boy. He run with it. He started rapping.
Yeah, we used to have
We ain't got time for
meetings.
Two things. That boy said no judge zone.
Yeah, and that's
These
what
stupid
we
ass
did.
hoes and their feelings. Hey, come here, boy. It's a no judge zone, mom. But I did that, and I only do that when they get to middle school and older because I need you to be able to tell me when you're wrong, when you're right, or indifferent. If
Accountability.
you are pregnant and something, don't do that. But if you, I need you to be like, I gotta tell my mama.
Right.
If you are somewhere you're not supposed to be and the world go
Call
wrong,
me.
I need to tell my
Listen, at
mama.
any time, any hour,
Call
it doesn't
me.
matter. Call mama. 'Cause I'm
Exactly.
coming.
Call me. If they pull you in the office and say, why did you hit him? Call my mama. I need
Yeah.
you to have call my mama until you are old enough to know, I know how my mama handled it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do see too many kids that don't tell their parents. I couldn't imagine a child in my house
They're
with a
fearful. They're
situation.
yelling that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That yelling that. What you did that? You know what you did that for? Like it's just
Because
like
we were like that.
yeah, and that's too much. Like I'll be like, oh, I can't tell you nothing.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, now you don't want you don't want a world for him. Yeah.
no, I yell, but
I yell too.
I mean, I put bass in my voice. They can understand when I say no, I mean no.
Mhm.
But also, they have a healthy respect and fear for me. And I love it.
That's good.
Yeah,
That
that's
is-
good.
that's
I love
very
it
That's
because,
good.
like, my daughter's scared, but something happened at school, and the minute she got in curse like that, I have to tell you something.
Right.
Like, she didn't scare. She's like, I have to tell my dad immediately. And I took her for ice cream because I
A
was
safe
so
place.
proud
Right.
that you knew this is bad. My dad needs to know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she's only 5.
That's good.
That's good.
Oh, that's a safe
That's
place.
really
to
good.
to
She-
know
But she's
why.
25. But she's 25. She's been here before.
Oh, okay. I'm about to
Yeah.
say, oh,
That's-
for real.
She's
Yeah.
been there.
That's a grown one.
You have to be.
Well, that's
But
how my son.
when she got in the
24.
car, she put her seatbelt on. Like, Dad, I gotta tell you something. I'm like, what'd you do? She's like, no, I have to tell you something. And she told me what happened. She knew it was gonna air. It was gonna have me furious, but she was like, I have to know.
Right.
I took a straight for ice cream because I'm so happy that you knew you have to tell me and you could talk to me.
Right.
Yeah, and,
That's
and
good.
kids love small rewards.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
rewarding your child. You know, I think a lot of kids. Of course, we know we're supposed to go make good grades, but when you see that I'm being acknowledgement is something that's very important. Like
Right.
acknowledging your child, you have to. Because if you're just like for women and men, if you're laying with your partner, you know, you want your partner to acknowledge you and the things that you do in the house. You know, if I'm tired, but you do the laundry and I go straight to bed, dog, babe ain't notice I did the laundry.
Right.
You know, like you just want to say thank you.
So it's okay
Right.
to acknowledge somebody for what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
I struggle with that.
You ain't doing
Listen,
Yeah.
Because a lot of fathers
live
feel
in
like
that-
I'm not going to praise you for what you're supposed to
Right.
do.
But that's the man in him. That's the
I
hardness
must
in
be a
him.
man then, because I struggle with that one.
I'm not gonna praise you because you got an A. You're supposed to get A's.
Yeah,
You're supposed to get
You're
A's.
supposed to, but I just feel like, oh, that's a long one.
I just told him, he's like, read that. Yeah, I'm here.
Lord.
You gonna read that one.
I'm trying to scroll with it, but
I stopped at the kids this day.
That's them sure, Mom.
I should have got my glasses.
Everybody get a sentence. Let's everybody get a
it's a
sentence.
We got class
softer
of reading like this school.
okay, a softer, yeah.
I'll
a
start
softer
though. These kids this day are
I
different.
don't read
A lot of kids rather talk to their peers instead of their parents. It gotta sound like a commercial.
I try to be as open as I can with my daughter, but I know there are things that she doesn't share because she knows how her mother can get.
That's a run-on sentence.
So, so I've learned to listen and take a softer approach.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's good.
You heard how I said that?
No, I love how y'all tag team. Like
Everybody take a sip. If we can read in front of class and everybody can like they can't read.
Hey, it was all like us. They out of sentences.
That woman, you be like, I'm gonna read next
Yeah,
time.
but you know they say once you've been to Eau Claire, you've been somewhere. So
Yeah, that's what they say.
See, that right there is part of the lies people tell kids.
And that, boys and girls, is how you manifest and speak life into it.
No, but that's true though. I like the approach on that. I'm gonna elaborate that a little bit. I got my oldest son who I used to constantly shout at. So my other two sons,
right, that says the Eau Claire graduate. Right. Power to the people.
my other two sons, I don't shout as much, but I always put them in push-up positions instead of spanking them and whatever. But my oldest son comes back to me now, and I realize he heard everything I said. It's just that it just started going through him. You see what I'm saying? Because he started hearing the shouting more. So we tight. You know, he just left the house last night, but chill. But to hear the things that I know I told him years ago, and it's still embedded in him and certain morals it is, I realized he already heard. So the shout is not necessary. The message need to be necessary as well as the communication.
It's crazy you say that. My best friend passed away at 19 in a car accident. When she was younger, her mother did old school parenting. That like he was talking about, like my grandma did.
He looked like he old school. He looked like he don't say, let me get that belt, let me get that leather.
Old school.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you.
As soon as my son turned 13, I'm not no longer, but I'm gonna carry your chest like my daddy did.
You ain't gonna do this for a grown man.
No,
Who ain't?
I know
Oh,
who
Jesus.
Let me tell you something. When my dad figured out the belt stopped working,
Yeah.
he took his fist and carried my chest, and I guarantee all the air I thought I owned came out. And I never wanted to feel that again. So guess what happened?
You behave.
I never did it again.
You didn't get caught.
Right.
No. I never did that again. I didn't do that again. Because I knew the next time was gonna be worse, but I deserved it. You know, so as I grew up, I stepped back and realized every whooping or cave chest and I deserved it.
I
You know what
definitely
I'm saying?
did some things.
I
I
my
need
parents
it.
just out here just whooping my ass. Every time I caught that belt, I
It was a
deserved
reason.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's funny because her mom said that after she passed, when she was alive, she was hard on her. Old school parenting, like caving chest in, whatever side of the belt will get you, whether it's the buckle or the strap, that's your business.
Move your hand.
Move your hand. Yeah. But so she was hard on her. So the two children that she had after that were years younger than her, she said, you know, the parents said it. I was too hard on her. Maybe I shouldn't be as hard on them. But now that they're the same age or a little bit older than what she was, they didn't come out the same way she did. And so now the lesson came in of you can't soften up, because even though those moments were tough, it made for stronger children. It made for a different child. That child was more independent. So it's kind of like, I don't want you to be raised the way I was, because I thought they were a little rough on me. But if I don't raise you like me, you're not going to be independent like me either, because these kids are, he's not lying about them being entitled. They do seem softer.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm learning that too though,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I had my child when I was 20. I got pregnant at 19.
I did.
So for me, it's like I was soft because I wanted somebody to be gentle with me.
Yes.
So a lot of times I find myself being the parent that I wanted my parent to be. And sometimes I'm like, hold up, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get this right, you know,
Yeah.
because I don't want to create a child where he's a statistic or where it's okay for him to do that, or it's not creating accountability. And as a man, a lot of these dudes don't have accountability. So I want my child to know that. So instead of cutting his butt, sometimes I put him in squat position on the wall, and he just sits.
That's worse.
Yeah, he cries. He cries. Squat all night. Squat. You gonna stand here until you get it right, and you might get some, some milk with your meal, but right now water. It's water. That's it.
Well, my issue was I had to tell my daughter, I had to apologize to my daughter because I was so busy giving her what I didn't have that I didn't realize that it wasn't what she needed.
That's true.
So what I was giving her was me thinking, oh, well, my mama didn't give this to me.
That's what you needed more so.
Right, and it was what I needed. And then when it came down to it, she wanted something totally different. It's almost like their love language. You have to figure out their love language and then discipline and love on them in their love language.
I tried that gentle parenting when my child was little. I was like, I'm never going to cuss at my daughter because my grandma cussed at us. So for the first few years of her life, I was like, I'm never going to cuss at her. And that heifer drew on my wall. And before I could know it, my grandma came out. I was like, this is bad. Bring your black and get this shit out that wall.
Yeah, Picasso at my house right now.
And I realized, you know what? This is my problem. Now y'all nasty, you're trifling the baseboards. But as I get older, and especially now that she's 16 and she's teening and things that she's
because you gotta be
teening.
Yeah.
And I'm
here
asking
you all the questions. She coming.
Oh God.
She coming.
She coming. I'm
Tell her, call.
What's that smelling or something?
What's that lady?
He lay hands on you.
And when they're little, you think like, oh my God, this kid is kidding. But the minute that teenage hormone says,
they start smelling
man,
themselves.
it's like somebody turned the high beams on you. Like, who is brighter?
And me dealing with 7 to 16, I see the change.
Be
You
very
know what I'm saying?
afraid.
I see the change because I have a girl now where I saw the change.
Wow.
So I had to whisper to her. I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Because
I know. Because when I had it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
You know what I'm saying?
You can see the little girls that come in your house and you're like, they're like, hey ma, I hate this. And then one day they come in and you're like,
Who is this?
come here.
Yeah.
Who did it? Even when your boys change,
Yeah.
they go from,
yeah.
"Hi, mommy, how are you?" to, "All right, mom, I'm going upstairs. Run the beat back."
Right. And that voice,
Lotion in the room.
out your voice.
Lotion in the room all the time. Grease in the room. In the bathroom forever.
So when
She told me, what are you doing? I say, just sit here.
I'm not ready.
Oh my God.
Beat on that door.
Oh my God, I'm not ready for that.
I'm not ready for that either. My boy's 11, but you start to see, like, you walk in this room, he on TikTok. He be like, "Hey, what you need something, mom? Bring me that phone." My mama's a nerd.
But I think that's why I got a son. Like now that I know God, like I know what it means, like I know who He is.
Yeah.
I understand why I have a son, because if I would have had a daughter,
And your baby's home.
You've been battling.
I've been battling. I would have been a cancer survivor for real. Because I understand.
She said, that's how I know who God is. Because if I
No, listen, that's real. I always wanted a boy, and I ended up with a girl.
She's gonna make you get rebaptized.
let's hope she's not watching
No,
this.
but listen. We already have.
She don't cocoa milk.
Understanding.
Okay.
We have an understanding. We have an understanding. So I was like, y'all, like being super like. So I was older when I had mine. Okay, I'm almost 40. Okay, she's 2. So I was like, okay, I want to baby her and spoil her and all of this. And then I realized, I was like, hold up. This little girl's smart. This little girl she's trying to play me already.
My son doing that.
You know.
No.
If you know.
So like right now, I know how to check her. It's like, and it starts here.
Right.
So I want to start it now. So you have not just a healthy respect for me, but we have a good relationship. You can talk to me. We can talk about whatever. So hopefully I'm praying that by the time she turns 16, we can still be cool.
Right.
I mean, I know it might not be realistic, but I'm praying.
14, one day the Lord's like,
Yeah. He said, I'm like that. I'm gonna do that tonight.
they look up and go, "Oh my God, I'm a teenager. Happy 14th birthday."
Yeah.
Get her.
My
A
like
caller comes in,
Yes.
and I mean, you look up one day, you like, get downstairs, and they go, why you hollering? Man, and you realize, Michelle, you can't say all facts when they talk about boys, because Jake is our babe. Don't talk about Jake.
Listen, Michelle,
Yeah.
don't do that. Don't do my
you to my boys and stuff, and he like, yo, just to close the door and let him. She to my all facts. No,
Let him finish.
not Big Jake, not my Jake. Jake the DJ, don't do my Jake.
Listen, we love Jay.
I'm not ready for my son to start sunning, but it
Nigga,
is
start
good to have
sunning.
a conversation.
You might not even realize.
It's big to start talking and having conversations with your community leaders or the ones that your children are able to communicate with, because there are versions of the children that y'all know that the people at home don't know.
Right.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
the best thing about it. Like you.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah, I
there's
know
a version of my
you
child.
know.
That.
How she acted Rice Creek is not what she gonna do when she walks through my door.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm dealing with now. And as a parent, when my son leaves the house, that's school. Oh, I don't get that. You get what I'm saying? So it took just recently, maybe like a month ago, I learned to buckle down. So now, when he looks at me and he knows he messed up, he know what time it is. Like, hey, mommy, he knows what time it is because I'm buckling down on him. I'm correcting him. Like, I'm getting it together now, because back then, mommy like, I don't want to beat him. You know?
Yeah, we was raising each other.
Yeah,
Basically,
like
that's what I was
I'm a child
Starter
raising a
kit
child.
kids.
You know,
That's
like
all
for
right.
me, I'm a child raising a child. So I didn't want to beat my child, because I know when I got that beating from my daddy, and I popped his chain with it
Yeah.
when he was trying to beat me. They got it.
But the thing is, when you put in that time as a parent, and you put in that time, you're with that kid, you start to know the kid, they understand you.
Right.
That belt, honestly, is just a look,
Yeah.
because the last thing they want to do is disappoint. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I just think more time is needed from the parents in the community.
And I always say discipline your children differently, because each of them have
That's what Mrs.
different
Tamika
personality. Yeah, that's what made me think about it. I always say that, because my oldest son, he's so sensitive, but my middle son, the one I was telling you about in the beginning, I could say anything to him. I could beat him, no matter what it was, he could take it. But my oldest son, I can just say something to him and he's ready to cry.
That's
Yes.
That's why the daddy had that belt for you.
Exactly.
No, it's like took that.
The middle child is not a thug. My first child, I would sit there and I would get out there and I would embarrass. I did a PSA on her Snapchat and told everybody on there, I watched this shit. And I'm gonna email what you said to your mamas. Now, when my son had a text message, and I was like, oh, I can't embarrass you like that. That would hit your soul different. Let me find a way to deal, because different levels of different children require different parents.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because it's smart.
You gotta play his mom.
Man, playing.
Yeah, my son used to know how to play me.
Exactly.
And he won every time.
Mr. E
He
just
won every
effed it
time.
up for you.
So
How old?
He's 4. He's 4.
No, they don't do. They don't
Yeah,
do
like
it.
I would go to sleep, but something be different every time I wake up, because I used to set stuff a certain way. So I'm like, Chip's missing,
Y'all not
Chips missing. Chips are missing. Different chips.
Y'all, the juice. I said the juice wasn't right here last night. So I go in the room. I see
under that bed.
And he like cornbread too, so I never forget leaving the cornbread pan out. And I thought maybe I had a mice or something in my house, because I'm like, that cornbread was full. I went in the room and all I see is cornbread going in his room to the bed. He had food and drinks and cornbread.
All over.
Yeah.
The thing is, and they forget to throw it away.
Mhm.
They eat it in the room, then they forget to throw it away. You check
Yeah,
the drawer,
and then it
or you check
comes
behind the
home.
bed, up under the bed.
Michelle, don't you talk about your second baby. It's your fault that I had a second baby. I had the nerve to see you at that basketball game and go, oh, she's so cute. I want one. I had 2. No fault on my mother.
Blame that on somebody else.
It's manifested. I spoke it. If it's
Somehow, I'm pretty sure Michelle wasn't in the room when that was going down.
I was playing Uno.
So that is not Michelle's fault.
I don't even know how that happened. If somebody draw 4 and skip me, and I was in the emergency room with the
Go out.
Uno out. I'm sorry, Yana. Apologies to my first child.
What's
Got your puppy.
your plan for the nonprofit within 3 years?
Okay, so what we want to
Way
do.
to bring that back.
Oh, thank you.
You don't want to manifest in no kids. Kicking it with dads.
Kicking that ass.
Oh my God.
3 to 5 years.
Yes. So 3 to 5 years. So y'all were asking like, what is the main issue that each nonprofit has? For us, it's awareness, right? So we're just getting started. So it's just letting the community know who we are and what we do. So in 3 to 5 years, what we want to do is be the connection that anybody that's in entertainment needs to do your art here in South Carolina. But we have the connections to LA. We have the connections to Atlanta. So you realize that you can be from South Carolina and still make it big, right?
So what
Because-
if you know 3 Black individuals at that podcast? Can you get us out there to LA?
Listen.
always
No.
good.
But real talk, like
You gotta network. He
literally,
gonna get us
somebody who works with us literally right now is on a major film project that we can't say about, but by December I'll be able to announce that she's in her first feature film, and she's from right here in South Carolina. We were one of the first theater companies that she started with, and just like she just grew and grew and grew, and now she's on Hulu and Netflix and all these networks.
So
Sit around with him. You did good. I'm glad you plugged that one. That's a conversation to have.
Yeah, listen, let's
Keep
go.
talking to her.
Let's go.
And you finished kicking with that, so we
they
get the
5-year
benefits.
plan too. But no, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's cool.
It is
That's
cool.
really cool.
The bridge they got to bring the talent at the community.
Yeah.
They need to. We don't have a stage like after school. Remember we had Fame and all kind of after school programs.
Yeah, I,
We
had a
ran
lot.
over.
I used to sign up for everything. I signed up. I didn't want to go home.
I had no idea. For real. I had no idea how useful the Boy Scouts was gonna be.
Oh my God, Girl Scouts for me.
For real, like if you get in the woods and get stuck, I can save
I
you.
even found stuff on Saturdays.
No, for real, like, I mean, like, I can't. We can't shout out to Boy Scouts. Troop 119.
Yeah,
Troop 119. I was almost an Eagle Scout.
I had softball at Eau Claire. I tried to do major until I stopped it.
I tried
Did
that.
cheerleading at Eau Claire. I did a whole bunch of stuff.
But y'all chilling in Eau Claire. Y'all did Luke songs.
They didn't
They didn't have that in District 2.
Listen, shout out to the step teams, and shout out to Miss Muldrow.
Shout out to Sharon Hanks. That step teams was my thing.
I did step team in middle school.
Listen,
I
I,
did it
can't
behind
believe that
middle
they're
and
not
high.
like step teams now, like there were back then. I was like,
Right.
what you mean? Ain't nobody.
That's
step
what
team?
got me
Most
over that
definitely.
age of being scared of being on stage.
Yes,
Step
me
team.
too.
Step team is why I'm not scared of being on stage.
Yep, broke me
Step
out of
team
my
is
shell.
I wasn't in the streets because I ain't have no time. Step shows was
Yeah, right.
everywhere. Is how I learned my way around all the places because you went to all the different schools. You were in
The high school,
Sumter
right.
and all these different places. Step team was life saving because you was too thick to be a cheerleader in District 2. But I could fit that.
Speaking of something,
They must have
shouts out
did
to
that
my man
with
Brandon down in something for the
My-
camera
Yeah,
on the red shirt.
them schools ain't want us in them little skirts.
No, I'm talking
I
about
mean, they
Brandon.
did that for Red Crew. We didn't
South
care.
Carolina bread shirt. Shouts out to my man Brandon down there in something. He got his nonprofit doing things in the community as well.
Come on.
So it's just cool. I want to shout him out the shirt. Since you was good, but your step team down in
Well,
something.
he talking about Ridgeview let them have thick cheerleaders, whatever. We
did.
we were dancing the Luke. So take your little
Every
team.
school that you went to, you always thought the other school had the better cheerleaders because these girls just in class with you.
Yeah, I always
Right.
thought Keenan always.
Keenan always had the littest cheerleaders in the whole wide world.
No,
They
Keenan
got nice bands.
band was good at one point.
I didn't look at
And
you.
then our band got better.
I was
So when
So
he
yeah, our
got there,
band
what's
got
that
better.
in high
Mr.
school?
Goodman,
I was like,
Mr. Cheeks.
That's the difference between y'all and us. We knew the girls that was cheering for us was gonna see them the next morning. I couldn't worry about
Y'all was
girls
in the
that
woods. Ain't nobody even knew what Ridgeview was back
You knew
then.
what the songs on the court.
Nobody saw no purple pony.
You saw when you looked up like, damn, we lost again.
Not when I was down. But I was at a step show, so it didn't matter.
Okay, that part.
Those programs. How hard is it for the nonprofit to create those programs, though, after school programs now? Because those school they don't have them. Like you can't even go in the gym and just it's free play after school.
Don't
It's
sound like
now.
it's through the schools
Now
anymore.
when you go to the gym and you go try to have free play, it's 4 old ladies doing aerobics and they're taking up the whole gym.
Yeah, it's like COVID is still an excuse for school.
Right.
So I've tried to get into schools, but they say COVID.
Wow.
Everybody's still using COVID, even trying to get back to group homes to go participate with the girls. We're not doing it because of COVID. And it's like, get over it. Like,
Right. That's what we are seeing. A lot of these nonprofits are not affiliated with the schools no more.
yeah, because it's hard to get in. And you remember you could do the vendor form yourself and get into schools. Now they require you to have a reference in order to get into school to be a vendor.
Oh,
wow.
So how do you connect with kids in school? Like how do the kids that can't get into the art programs and theaters and
Listen, to be honest, we're literally just starting to make those connections. But I want to say, like, even this week alone, I've gotten like connections just randomly. God just dropped connections on me, like somebody in the schools, and they're like, because the brown skin girl, we want to get it in schools, right? And I talked to somebody this week, and she was like, "Oh, these are the people that you need to talk to. Like, just reach out." Now, I don't know how easy it's going to be once I call them, but I'm hoping and praying that it'll be easier, than what y'all have experienced. Because for me, okay, yeah, COVID hit, and to me, it equalized everybody, right? Because there were certain theater companies that were doing better and this and that, but now I'm talking to these people, and it's like, no, we're all kind of like starting over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if everybody's starting over, it's the perfect time to collaborate and work together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because what it's about is the kids. It's about the community and doing whatever we need to do to provide what our community needs.
Do you think it's going to be hard for you to get a play called Brown Skin Girl into the schools? Because we're hearing a lot now about
I just
schools
don't
in
see Ben
Florida.
Lippen letting that go. I don't see that going on.
Cardinal Newman ain't doing it either. But you got a lot of stuff you're hearing in Florida and different places where they're pulling African American studies out of school. They got an issue about that on Bel Air right now about they don't want it to. They're not letting stuff be too black. So when you try to get in there, try to get
Nah,
black.
don't say black. Urban. I was about to say urban. That's how they hide it. Don't say black. Say urban.
They don't want too much Negroes.
Come on.
So how is that? How do you feel it's going to be a battle?
So
I'm sorry. My bad.
To be honest, the
All
people
black
that
everything.
I have reached out to so far, it's been nothing but I've only gotten positive so far.
That's
I've
what
only
happened
got
with me.
positive.
That's a good thing.
You know what I'm saying? I hope it continues that way. But to be honest, yes, it's called Brown Skin Girl. But the themes that are in it, the message that is in it, it works for brown, white, whatever color you are, boys, girls, whatever. Because it's just about you dealing with your teen angst. And whatever you think is popular and whatever you think is like the most important thing, and just realizing like, nah, none of that really matters at the end of the day. Right. And that applies to everybody.
And that's this weekend where?
Yes. So that is at the Wild Performing Arts Center. It's 8907 Two Notch Road, Suite F.
That girl said she know that.
I do, baby. I write it too many times. I know it.
Has it gotten better? And this will be the last one before we wrap up. Has it gotten better in Columbia? Because when we were growing up, being realistic, although we talk about our schools, if you wanted something that was urban, you had to go to District 1.
Right.
Because you couldn't get it over here. And you couldn't get it in. You know you weren't going to get it in West Columbia.
Oh,
so
Did you just say District 1 was more authentic? Than
no, I said it was blacker. It was definitely blacker. It was the only place that you could get the bands that sound like an HBCU. Our bands were like ting to ting ting, and y'all bands were like smoking no hey in the bar. We went there for the music and entertainment.
Right.
So HBCU versus predominantly white.
We were USC, and y'all was like fam, and we got questions.
Right.
Do you find it that they're more open to receive your programs than other areas?
I can't say because I'm in District 1.
Case in point.
Because right now Forest Heights is who works with me a lot. So
sounds real District 1-ish.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
But that's okay. So
Honestly, I haven't tried District 2.
I love it.
Yeah, I've tried District 2, but like
You do get to run around, but I stopped. I didn't.
Yeah, District 1, like you can
push.
you can literally call somebody and they'll be like, okay, this is what you need to do.
Mhm.
Versus you calling up to District 2 and you getting no type of leeway on what to do or how to get.
Shouts out to Hamilton Jacobs. Keep going.
Okay,
Ham?
for real. I love
Ham.
Hamilton. Yeah,
Yeah.
these good people.
Yeah.
But
Shouts out to Ham.
Yeah.
but yeah, so like, I'm just really getting out there as far as like speaking and people knowing who I am in the community. Like this year was really my year. So
Listen, and that's how I feel. I feel like 2023 is the year.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, for me, I felt like COVID was the equalizer. And I feel like more people are willing to work together. At least that's the vibes that I'm getting.
yeah,
I'm just
definitely the
gonna run
vibes you're getting.
I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna bring y'all with me though. I'm bringing y'all
It's
with me.
hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Me and her discussed this before. Like it's like.
Like, what type of things y'all trying to get done though? Like what y'all trying
With
y'all saying
anything,
collaborate?
yeah, even with
we even just do like getting the kids together, like
Right.
something like so I haven't really talked about it, but I'm planning a Yell Out for Youth, which is a campaign that I'm creating, which creates a campaign for kids to speak about things that they feel like they need improvement in the community with, as well as what can be bought to make them feel comfortable around their communities. So it's called Yell Out for Youth, and I want to partner with a whole bunch of nonprofits, as well as.
Kicking with Daz would be perfect.
You should email her.
Yeah, her.
And her should write her back.
I'm like, good morning. This.
Good morning. 8 o'clock in the evening. Wait till young people find out about that.
I took the time out to write that.
Open your inbox and love it.
I wrote it. Now you know who I am.
I got you. I promise I got
If I
you.
don't hear nothing hurt, I'm going to Gigi.
No, you good. I got you. I promise
You
I
know I'm
got
gonna
you.
tell on you. Yeah.
This is not what I'm telling you.
So before we let you all wrap up tonight, first and foremost, we appreciate this tonight because although we brought you in for the community aspect, you actually helped us as the community really think about ourselves and kind of check ourselves as parents. At least you took it for ice cream though. Great. Dang, you don't even do that. You don't believe in reward what you're supposed to do.
You don't.
But you still acknowledge her for doing good.
No, that because I mean
right.
that touched me in my heart. Like to know that she felt safe enough to come talk. Even though I wanted her to talk to somebody, the fact that she felt it was okay to come talk to me, like I thought that was dope. And that's something you reward.
Right.
Oh, make a dad feel better?
No, the fact that you were listening to what I said and you actually applied it. That's something you reward. You knowing your ABCs is not a reward. You're supposed to know your
But it's
ABCs.
people that can't read these streets.
Well, my child ain't one of them.
Not ABCs, but I definitely believe good grades should be rewarded.
They
Like,
should.
you supposed to make them, but just yeah.
Bro said he just don't clap for fish because they swim.
I'm not
I
doing
say
it.
good grades, but not
Not
cleaning
cleaning
up.
up.
Yeah.
Not cleaning up or learning how to pick up a trash can.
Right.
Learning how to pick up trash. I'm just gonna say.
Now, if you don't learn to pick up the trash can, clean the baseboards, rake, and all that, you show you more
Yes,
time.
you do something
You got more time
extra.
skills. Let's go get you
That's
something.
slavery.
That's not slavery. That's good.
Clean the baseboard. Oh my
Baseball,
God.
yeah. Who get clean?
And they're the closest to
Who's supposed to do it? They're the closest to the baseboard.
They're the
closest to the baseboard.
I guarantee you.
closer.
Let that baby turn
Very
something. You know what? They was right. Go ahead, grab this rag.
And I'm gonna tell kicking it with dads. Yeah. Kicking it with y'all really paid off.
And we'll tell them.
we
We'll tell
sorry.
them on June 10th.
We'll be like, all right, get down.
No,
On June 10th, we have a whole cookout for y'all for cleaning them basements.
For real.
Yes.
I get free.
Bring all the kids. Everything. We're gonna have a sneaker giveaway. We're gonna be
The line to get in
For
the
real.
park.
But I should get a really
this
nice
year
sneaker.
we're working on that.
because
So
we
this
clean
year
the
we're
baseboard.
definitely making sure that the line to get in the park is not that bad.
Okay.
We're trying to. We're partnering with them to kind of make sure they get things rolling and going because we are expecting a larger turnout than last year.
yeah.
And so with
Yeah,
double
because
the
the
people, we're
community
going
is
to have to pull everything a little different. But we really, really cannot thank you all enough for coming out tonight. We know we took the attention away from y'all kids.
No, yeah.
No, it's nice. I like this.
But we appreciate y'all so much. Before we let you go, though, we do want to let you get one good moment where you close out and tell people about your nonprofit again, the benefits, how
And
to
you gotta
reach
tell
you.
us your top 5 R&B songs.
Top 5.
I was gonna say hip hop, but we got ladies in the house.
Okay, I'm ready.
Ladies. So who wants to go first?
I don't know no top. You said
I
top 5.
can start with my.
Hold on.
Hold on, top 5.
So you can start with your R&B first,
Listen,
then
they
your
can be Prince
nonprofit.
if you wanted to be Prince.
No, so nonprofit. Then how you gonna do it?
However they want to do it.
However do you want it?
I like computer
That's why
love.
you like
Computer look.
Luther Vandross Dance with My Father.
Oh, kick it with this. There you go.
I like. What else do I like? Usher Superstar.
Hey.
That's my
I like Jagged Edge. Let's Get Married. And I like Marsha Ambrose. How you say that?
Marsha Ambrose.
Yeah, I like that whole album she did. That whole album. You can just put that whole album down.
Right, Jagged.
That song.
Yeah.
Wait, I like that song.
Yeah, and I like the remix though better.
Because
This song is boom.
so don't he say
The lyrics.
we ain't getting no younger, so we
Might as well do it.
It just
Because the lyrics is like, we're getting older.
so let's just go and get married.
Right.
Right.
Just throw you a ring real quick.
But no.
That's basically what you said.
I like
I had
the
my
beat.
fun.
I didn't have my fun.
But at this point, we both heard
Yeah,
it.
and then what Run DMC say? What's
We home across the sea. Ain't no hit line front and shorty coming with me.
She said, hey,
I already gave you the keys to the race. Your last name about to change. Hey, why that beat that?
Let me ask y'all another note. What about like Miss Jasmine Sullivan?
I like I was going to name her, but you know,
Yeah,
no,
no,
Jazz?
All of yeah, like she.
Don't forget to
Girl Like Me and
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
No, but taking the back.
Finish
no,
out.
I'm
You
going to get my 5.
She get
gotta
her
get nonprofit.
Oh,
What's
Get
coming
her
up
to
next?
nonprofit.
Okay.
And another thing, since I know you now, can I get an exception for a 6-year-old?
7.
Oh.
But yeah.
Well, they said she's 25.
she act 25. I mean,
She's
she gonna
25.
pass anything. She
She's
gonna
25.
beat it.
Yes,
She's
yes.
25.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got it.
I'm telling you, 7 will be there before.
But
Terrible.
I have an organization. Well, I'm the founder of the Better Me Mentoring, and I work with young girls ages 7 to 16. Our mission is to inspire, cultivate, and extend a helping hand to the youth.
You could take Yana. She turned 17 in July. Go ahead, Jess.
Tell a caller.
Monique.
I am Jessica, the founder of Friendly Atmosphere Mentoring, where our mission is to help evolve the hearts and minds of our youth by providing resources and opportunities for youth of all cultural and economic backgrounds. And upcoming, we have a Not So College Career Expo where we're doing non-traditional schools on May 6th. And we're going to have it at WOW, but we're having it on Forest Drive. So it'll be CNA schools, nail tech schools, carpentry, electrician, things like that. So for the teenagers who are about to go to school or about to leave school and don't want to go to a 4-year college, then they can come out and get some information.
You should get Herc's information from her. And
I don't know.
message her.
He was talking about
that.
because her can't go read them.
Let me give you his email address. I know him.
Hey, y'all ain't gonna keep doing my boy like that.
I will pull up here to talk.
You should check in her.
You'll be on the comments like her never email.
What's your top 5 R&B?
My absolute favorite is Superwoman by Alicia Keys.
Mm.
I love Superstar Usher.
I'm gonna play that when I leave here.
I See You by Coco.
Mm.
That I like that
I
one.
love that.
Mhm.
Now, Monica. I love all Monica songs.
That
I'm
whole
gonna use
album.
Monica for the last 2, any 2 songs.
Mhm.
Y'all want to choose? I love
Like a
Monica.
dozen roses.
Sing that thing, boy. Monica had me in middle school singing Misty Blue like I knew she was talking about.
Let me
One
see.
more.
Let me see. Let me see. Beyonce. I'm not a Beehive, but I like Beyonce. 1+1.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's on you now.
Help, Lord. Okay, so so I am Jositra Baxter. I am the marketing coordinator for WOW Performing Arts Center. We are the nonprofit arm to WOW Productions, and we offer acting classes, workshops, live events, and just venue space. So if you need venue space, we do venue rentals as well. What we have coming up is actually this weekend, we have a play called Brown Skin Girl. It's an inspirational teen stage play. We have shows Friday night, so Friday at 7:30, Saturday at 3 and 7:30, and Sunday at 3. If you go to wow-pack.org, that's where you can purchase your tickets. And something cool that we are doing is the tickets range from like 20 to 25, right? But we understand that some people can't afford that. So we're taking a page from Trustus's book. If y'all are familiar with Trustus Theater Company, they have something called IPWIC, or I Pay What I Can. So our matinees, we're doing something similar, but we call it Giving You the Best That I Got. So you can just come and you can donate. You can go online, you can get your ticket for free, but then when you come, just give a donation. Because really what it's about, again, is just getting the message out and having a audience full for these teenage girls who are going to be on stage and they've worked so hard. You don't want them to perform in front of an empty house, right? So if you are in the community and you want to donate, you can go to wow-pack.org to sponsor someone to come. But yeah, that's
CTS will definitely sponsor for somebody to go.
Thank you.
Yes, we will.
We appreciate
We
that.
definitely will.
And listen, I'm gonna talk to y'all for real about kicking it with Dad because we're having a show in the fall, and it's called Confessions of a Good Man too. And I want my men to be involved.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Let's go.
What are your 5?
All right, so this is hard for me, right? So I probably cannot name 5 songs because I'm a music lover. I started in entertainment and singing. I sang with John Lakin and his choir since I was in middle school, right? Well, high school. I met him in middle school. Okay, so number 1 favorite is Diamonds and Pearls. That is The Faith by Prince. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I can say no more.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing else needs to be said.
Oh, watch out.
Then you better spark another hour.
Ain't about to jump
Okay.
on you.
No, no,
Yeah.
because it's R&B. We didn't say rap.
That's always been his argument, ain't it?
And she just clear up. Thank
Yes. And then one that just kind of came to my mind was Who Can I Run To?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So
That's a
yeah,
good
I can only leave.
That's a fitting thing. We just talking
No,
about
you-
these
that's
girls
only
have to
3.
go to talk to.
I know, but it's so hard for me. Okay, who else? Oh, Anthony Hamilton.
Oh
That was my brother's favorite. I lost my brother.
That boy.
Bless his soul. But anything by Anthony Hamilton. But it was the one that it was a girl's name.
Charlene.
Yes. I love it. And the Hamiltons, my God.
Mm.
But y'all were talking about jazz. I love Jasmine Sullivan. Tank and the Bangers. Are y'all familiar? Anything by Tank and the Bangers? Because she's completely different. Like what they do is just so different and it's dope. And believe it or not, she's got ties to Columbia. My husband is in the poetry
I
circle.
believe there's so much
And
talent
she
here.
used to like be at the poetry shows here. So
Oh,
it's so
wow.
dope to see them now on like the Grammys and the Stella, all these places. So yeah.
It's good.
Well, again, before we let you go,
Thank
we
you.
hope that you all learned something tonight. We thank you again for coming out. But above all, we truly hope that not only did you learn about the avenues in the community, but it makes you go out there and look and see what else is available. And again, it makes you rethink it and reevaluate yourself as a parent because there's a balance that's necessary. You're going to have to give them discipline because you can't just let them run wild, but you also have to provide them love and attention. It's Wednesday. I'm hungry. We love y'all. Good night.
Good night.
Awesome. We really appreciate